All right, hey, welcome to the first installment of Show Us Your Shop from the Tech Care Association. I'm Rob, and I'm really pumped about today's shop that we're going to visit today. We're in Chicago, in case you can't tell. You can see the L up there, which if a train comes by, it's going to be really noisy. They tell me they're used to it, but I'm not. So here we go. I'm going to flip us around here, and we're going to take a look here. All right, today we're going to visit a shop here in downtown Chicago that's been around for quite a while and is a successful operation. I'm really impressed with these guys, and they do a lot of great work. They have a couple other shops scattered around the city. So today we're visiting Jet City Repair, and we are going to go inside and say hi to the guys and take a look at their shop. All right. Hey, Noel, thanks for bringing us in today. We really appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of look around your shop a little bit, first of all, just to show folks what we got going on. Say hi, TJ.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
All right, TJ. And I didn't give you the chance to say hi, Noel, so there we go. All right. I don't want to leave you out or make you feel left out. So you can see they've got a nice, comfortable shop here. They've got some accessories and things outside that people can take a look at and purchase if they need to. I love the decor in here. It's pretty fun. Makes it a very comfortable place to come into, if you ask me. All right, and we'll just kind of pan around. Guys got a little waiting area here for customers that are hanging out for the repairs, but repairs are always pretty quick in most cases, so that's a nice convenience. And you can see they've got a TV there just to kind of chill out and do something while they're waiting, I guess. So guys, let me kind of pan around here and say hey to you. So Noel, tell us, how long have you been doing repair work?
I've been in this shop for 5 years.
5 years, wow, that's awesome.
With no experience whatsoever.
Yeah. Like a lot of guys?
Yeah, under my manager, and experimented a lot with a lot of different devices. You know, kind of really sunk my teeth into it. I originally, and I believe TJ also, we were in the service industry, so that helped translate.
Nice.
In terms of just customer service.
Nice. Had you, either one of you guys, how long have you been doing it, TJ?
I've been here for about a year and some
Okay.
change now. I just moved out of here. Moved out here from New Jersey.
Okay, cool.
Learned a lot underneath Noel. A couple other techs we had in the shop. Yeah, I mean, I've loved my experience so far, especially coming from working in the restaurant business.
Okay, right.
Industry. It's a lot different. It's a
Yeah.
lot different and more rewarding.
Yeah. So were you guys, tell me about, being repair techs. I mean, growing up and all, were you guys, tinkering with stuff, or, I mean, how did it kind of all start for you?
I think I more just like, I guess the earliest stage would be blowing into the Nintendo cartridge.
Okay.
And then figuring out how things work. But I think, younger it was more about breaking open things and seeing how they work, or just
Right.
seeing what the heck's inside of them.
Right.
And then, not until, as an adult, just fixing things around the house and stuff like that, did I get more used to using tools and more curious about how things function.
Nice. Yeah, I hear you, man. A lot of guys start that way in the industry, but having done it for 5 years, I mean, that makes you a veteran in this industry. Obviously you're pretty good at it. On a busy day, how many repairs do you guys do?
I would say on a busy, good summer day, we could do around 30 to 35.
Nice.
If it's 2 people. During the slower season, it could be lower. My personal record is 37 repairs on a solo day.
Oh, that's awesome.
10 hours. So that was maybe my big accomplishment.
Nice. No, that's really good, man. Congratulations on that. So tell me, I mean, either one of you guys got a fun story about a customer, maybe somebody that, I don't know, just was funny or something like that happened with a repair?
Well, we had somebody come in who had originally gone to Apple, and they were told that it was completely hopeless. They had a bunch of pictures of their newborn on there.
Oh,
and they
yeah.
were freaking out because they just assumed that once the screen goes out, that's it. The phone's dead and everything on it's dead. They came in here and we got it fixed up in probably 25 minutes.
That's awesome.
And they hugged me and the other guy.
I had the same thing happen in one of my shops. It was pictures of her grandmother who had passed away. But after our tech fixed it, she said, "Bring him out here," and I brought him out. She gave him a great big hug.
Yeah,
So
Stuff
it
like that makes the job a lot more fun.
absolutely, it can be very rewarding in those ways. Cool. Well, let's take a look around. What you guys got going in the back, if that's cool. We'll just kind of take a look at the back of the house, so to speak. So I'll lead the way here. Like most repair shops, you don't need a lot of space. I mean, parts for most tech are very easy to store, and you can kind of see the way these guys got a little bit of storage back here. I take it, do you guys do most of your work out front and all?
Most of it out front.
Okay.
We do soldering over at the soldering station. Also,
Okay.
we have the back glass cabinet here, so we in order to not have such a mess, we do all the pulling of the back glass by where the soldering station is
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, that makes sense. And you got cement floors, which I'll zoom around to the broom. I'm guessing you sweep up glass often.
Often. All the time. We were almost considering getting like a new finish to the floor, but it would actually make it harder for us to clean.
Yeah.
From what I've heard.
I hear you. One of my first shops, we had carpet.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we pulled the carpet in the back of the house in short order. So, well, I'm gonna just take a look around. I mean, obviously, you got back of the house stuff here. This is your glass machine now.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Cool.
actually, whenever we do back glasses, sometimes we like to have the customers come in.
Oh,
back
okay,
so we
that's-
show them how the laser works because everybody likes
Nice,
lasers.
nice. I love it. That's a great idea too. You guys put the cabinet around it, I assume.
Yeah. So this is from Home Depot, and then we set this up for the ventilation.
That is so awesome. I mean, I love the idea that you guys, made this yourself, right? You got some advanced equipment there to help you do some repair work, but you were able to make a little cabinet around it and everything like that. That's an awesome design, guys.
Some of the setups they were like, it has the table and then it has vacuum or some air filtration around it.
Right.
It doesn't look like it's like pulling everything. And honestly, the way these things smoke, we don't want to.
Yeah,
bring them around like that.
that's brilliant. I love it. I really do. Well, let's take a look at your bench over here. Just tell me a little bit about what you do back here, the tools you use the most.
A lot of the stuff that we used to do a lot of micro soldering as far as like the touch IC and what's it called, audio IC for iPhone 7.
Sure.
Since we don't really do those micro soldering repairs anymore because they don't really stick. We mainly use this area for iPod batteries, charging ports, any of the small stuff where it's like where the soldering is necessary.
Mhm.
But no micro repairs. We had the microscope up there for that we haven't used in a long time. And
Okay.
It's super helpful for that stuff, but for just regular, things that you can see with the naked eye, we just use this area right here.
Right,
And
right.
also, when we pull off the back glass, we use the filter here so that you don't have a bunch of, stuff going up in the air.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I mean, not enough guys, I think, use filters or ventilation, which is really super important and something you want to invest in your shop for sure, for sure. So, when's the last time you broke out the soldering iron?
I did a charging port just last week.
Okay.
It's pretty straightforward. Which
Yeah.
I like those. We have all the various charging ports up here. On the older iPads, it's a little bit more challenging. You got to pull everything out. But one of the things that we've been seeing a ton of is the 12.9 Pros and 11 Pros. Their charging ports just fail. And what's neat about those, I mean, it's not neat for the customer, obviously, because they have a $1,200 device. It's not working well, but is that those charging ports plug in. So the soldering is no longer necessary. It's really just this piece.
Okay.
That clicks right in.
Nice.
And
nice.
those repairs we do a lot of. The one thing that we have to be careful is because the screens are so expensive, just pulling those up and being gentle as
Right.
usual because they're easy to break.
They don't make it easy to get into, do they? Making their devices more repair, are you listening, Apple? Would be a really nice idea. So, well, cool. What other kind of inventory do you go through a lot?
So right now we mainly like 11 series and the X or the 10 series. We
Mhm.
do those a lot. We have some back stuff because we do honestly see all the way down to like 6s. We still get those. We do get a lot of 6 and 6S batteries.
Really? Okay.
Surprisingly. It's generally our older customers who like to hold on to their stuff and they don't use the phone
Sure.
as much they don't want or need the newer features. And for them, I'm always very happy to help because I'm like, the longer you can hang on to this device, the better it is for you, like per dollar that you spend on it. Also, I mean, a lot of them are just like, we only use it for making phone calls and occasionally using it for going on the internet. And
Yeah.
if you don't need a new device,
Why buy one?
Why, yeah. Just get a new battery in there once a year, and it'll function well.
Absolutely.
We see a lot of the 6s, the 7s still, surprisingly, which I've always enjoyed. The newer screens, the newer stuff, we do see a lot of, especially the 11 and the XR series, because those are like the base models that they were selling, and people are trading in right now. So
Sure.
We do see a lot of that.
You see a lot of people come in to get a repair, to do a trade-in?
Yes. In fact, we get a little bump up around trade-in time because
Oh, yeah.
of that. So people will come in with like the smallest scratches.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I want to get the new one. So we fix it up and send them away. Especially back glasses. I think last week we were just tearing through them.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, another reason to go to Tech Repair is just, to get more value for your device as you go to trade in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And-
We saw a lot of people who would come in with something where they would, essentially get $75 trade-in value, or they can invest $100 to get the back glass fixed, and then they almost get like $300 or $400 back.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like that, you brought up the fact that, people with older devices, people that just don't need the latest, greatest type equipment. And a lot of times that's older customers, but some younger people too. That's another great advantage with a tech repair shop like you guys, is to help keep these devices in the market longer, working fully for the customer, so they don't end up in landfills.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. I mean, the carbon footprint that gets reduced from that, we're always super happy to see it. And it's true, it's not always older customers. It's just the savvy ones. Are like, we have a guy who comes in here, and I fixed his phone, a 5S, a bunch of times. And I just told him, like, the longer you can keep it,
Yeah,
he's like my
yeah.
age. He's like, yeah, I only use it for a few things, and I'm like, cool, let's just keep it going and see how long we can,
Yeah.
keep it alive.
Yeah. Do you guys see anybody doing retro repairs? Anything older? I've heard guys do 3Gs and.
I've done some 4s.
Okay.
I did a 4 for a customer that really just wanted it so that he could display it.
Oh, cool.
Which, I'm not a fan of how the 4s were built, but I did it because I was like, I know how to do it. He just wants it for around the house. We do keep some of those parts in stock just because it happens every
Sure.
now and then.
Sure.
But a lot of the times with excess inventory, like we had a customer who had an S5 S5 came in here for Samsung, and he wanted a battery, and he wanted several, or he just wanted a battery so he can keep it going.
Right.
We have extra inventory. I gave him like 3 batteries. And I was like, you
Nice.
can swap them.
Nice,
I'm
nice.
super happy about that. Because if we don't use these things for the repairs now, and we continue seeing less and less, it's
Yeah.
just not going to get used.
Yeah.
And that's always like a big pet peeve of mine. It just seems wasteful.
Yeah.
Even if it's not for, like if we're not getting paid for it, it's totally fine as long as it doesn't just sit here. Same with like something like these are cases we don't sell anymore. Sometimes we just hand them out to customers because
Nice.
I'd rather they take them than it's just to have to toss them out at some
Yeah.
point.
Oh, that's an awesome idea. I love that. So, what do you guys? Speaking of sustainability, what do you guys do with recycling? Do you?
So we have a company that comes by. Can't think of the name right. I believe they're just called City Recycling, and they pull a lot of stuff for us, just batteries. So we have the batteries in this container here, and the screens over here. So they'll come for the junk about once a month, as well as we have customers who will drop off old laptops and we wipe them, and then they can, we just recycle them that way too.
Okay.
Anything like that, it holds value for them. They assured us that they use good recycling techniques, which is awesome. I always joke with the customers that we throw the batteries in the river, but yeah,
And the river's what? Two blocks
yeah,
up,
2
a block
blocks
up?
but,
Yeah.
Then we show them this to let them know. I mean, we don't always get Apple batteries either, and sometimes it's like stuff, from like old laptop batteries and things of that nature. And we'll
Sure.
take them because, rather we handle them than they drop them off somewhere,
Yeah, and just for the record, throwing them in the river is not a good idea.
No.
A funny thing to say, but yeah, a lot of people do dispose of batteries and/or e-scrap in really poor ways.
Yeah. We always advise them, like, if you're not nearby our shop, you can go to Best Buy. They have stuff. Target even has stuff like that now.
Nice.
So if we get calls and they're somebody's like, well, I'm not close to your shop. How can I give up? Just point them in the right direction, because this stuff being sitting in landfills is just super,
Yeah.
terrible.
Absolutely. I think that's the advice most people in the industry have, and want to see devices, e-scrap, be taken care of responsibly.
Right.
Overall, it's kind of a plus of being in the industry. Let's see. What else can we talk about here? Tell me something about your shop.
We just like to dress it up with silly stuff because we're doing for about 10 hours a day, and we do 4-day work weeks, 10-hour shifts, which is a little different than the traditional, 9 to 5. We do 9 to 7, and that way our employees get to be a little bit have a little more time.
I got to ask you about the sign here.
I put that up over on the corner when they were working next door, and then people would turn their head, and I was wearing the same hoodie. I just waved at them and get a laugh.
That's
we like
fun.
to do stuff like that when we have downtime.
I love it.
Our values are pretty much just we make the employees happy, who in turn make the customers happy, who in turn make the shareholders happy, and then that's pretty much the way we try to operate it. And we're always striving to, like Matt especially is always striving to help the employees more. We have, insurance, dental, 401k.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so
That's awesome.
It means it's good in terms of like retaining people because a lot of places don't offer that, and especially in our B2B division, we have a lot of people who are working there who they're starting families and stuff like that, and they're looking for stuff where they can have these benefits so that they're able to take care of their families.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'll say shout out to other repair shop owners. Yeah, offering benefits is important,
Yes.
and in most cases you can do it because if you're doing good work, you're making good money. So
Totally.
take care of your employees.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And it's always very surprising to hear it from other places. It seems like a lot of repair shops are kind of stepping it up in terms of what
Good.
they're able to offer.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's a trend that just for everywhere.
Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
Gets
So-
benefits and good pay. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, so you mentioned B2B. So you guys have another division. Is that in a separate location or?
Yes. So
Okay.
That's in the West Loop, which is a couple miles westward of us.
Okay.
And they work on Chromebooks and iPads. They just got a new manager over there who's doing really great work.
Nice.
He's one of those family guys that he's looking to make this his career and have it so that he can provide for his kids. But it's a wonderful place. They originally had just one room in the building,
Mhm.
but they actually have two now because ever since COVID, there's been such an expansion.
Sure.
And need for just storage and receiving of devices. So
Yeah.
they have like the whole first floor of the building.
Oh, cool,
Yeah.
cool. And do all the repairs go there, or do some of their repairs that they have come to this location?
We can take some of their stuff,
Yeah.
especially like iPads because we're training those there. So we'll
Okay.
do some of those when they are getting huge orders, which is happening now. Actually, we just knocked out a box of iPads for them because
Nice.
they're staffed, but at the same time, these waves will come where like they'll get a new big order and they have to
Right.
need a little help with it. So we're happy to help them because
Hi-
anything that helps them helps us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you're all one big company, right? Yeah. So tell me how COVID affected you guys overall? I mean,
For between our three shops, our three retail shops,
Mhm.
ours was hit the hardest because we had a lot of people who would come from their offices and over break, they would
Right.
just walk in here and run in real quick and run out, and that's really, I mean, the first year we were really surprised that how few people were coming into the office.
Yeah.
After a year, people started to come back, and work's been more steady, but it's still not up to where we were pre-COVID.
okay, I was going to ask you that.
We actually are, I would say, we're like maybe 3/4 of the way of what we were doing before, but and this last summer was pretty good, but it's not where we would want to be.
Sure.
As busy as we were before. I think before we had 4 people in the shop. We were open 7 days a week, and now it's 3 with 6 days a week.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think the urban areas, shops in those areas have been hit the hardest and have been the slowest to recover. But hopefully, you'll start seeing that business come back into you guys as well.
It is. It does make me really happy telling them of how we're doing business when we do have people who are closer to other repair shops who are willing to come downtown, especially
Nice.
like downtown Chicago people are just like they don't want to come down here if they live outside of downtown because they always think it's going to be a mess, and half the time it is. We do have people who come from like a suburb away or one of the farther neighborhoods because they prefer us over the
Cool.
local people.
Nice. Well, let me ask you this too. The independent repair, tech repair industry has struggled dealing with the OEMs, Apple especially. So, if you guys had one thing to tell Apple just about your business and about working with them, what would that be?
I think the main thing that we would tell them is that we're here to help, and it seems like they don't have a lot of faith in non-authorized repairs, but ultimately like us fixing their devices helps their business because we help people continue to use their devices and use their services, and that's something that I think maybe they've overlooked because they are hoping that a lot of people use their repair services, but I think a lot of people's experience with their repair services is not as good as the ones that we provide, and that's why people come to us.
Sure.
And it might be something that's worth considering for them is that sure they make a product that people like, but people aren't really hot on their customer service, whereas people like us can step in and help with that.
Right.
So making their parts available to us and their equipment available to us is obviously would help us. But nonetheless, people still can choose us over them.
Sure. Yeah.
At the time, because it's just an easier process.
Right. Yeah.
With devices, the way that people use them, they need them turned around quickly, and they want all their data retained. And we just hope that the companies that produce these devices have faith in us.
Yeah. That's I couldn't have said it better, man. That is really the fact. So we're going to wrap up now. I mean, is there anything else you want to say about the shop?
No, thank you for coming. And
Yeah, we love it. I'm going to walk everybody out just so that we can see the front of the shop again here real quick. See from the glass front here, which is really nice. And you guys really have a nice storefront.
Oh, yeah.
I love this.
And like an aquarium, though. Everybody can see.
Well, they're curious about what you guys are doing. Let me show people your front counter if that's cool. So it looks like you guys got a couple of Surface micro, or what are those devices? Yeah.
And then we have the wireless keyboards.
Okay.
We used to have big computers up here, but it just took up too much space.
Yeah.
Put a little bit of a wall between us and the customers.
Absolutely, got that. But yeah, nice little place to work. People come by looking curious to see what you're doing, and then come in here and get a repair, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's take a real quick look around the shop again. Just kind of looking at things before we head out. And then we're going to head out here. But thank you guys for your time today. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Would you tell people your website and tell people your address?
Our website is www.jcdrepair.com, and our address downtown Chicago is 216 North Wells, but we also have 2 other retail stores in Seattle.
Right. Okay, that's awesome. So if you're in Chicago, come by and just say hi to the guys, especially if you're other repair people, right? Yeah. I mean, we're a community, right? So, and if you need a repair, it's a great place to go in Chicago. I'm going to head outside. Thanks, guys. All right.